New Solana all-time high, and as the biggest supporter of Solana through all of this cycle, I'm very happy for this event to happen. Now, in all seriousness, guys, today we're actually speaking about altcoins. We're talking about the biggest issues that are happening in memecoins. Why the certain memecoin niche is essentially born dead, unfortunately born dead. And why I do think that liquidity outflow is happening already and will continue to happen. And you need to be early to make money in this industry. And it's very interesting. If you remember, there was a huge liquidity outflow from meme coins a couple days ago, exactly before the recent new high on BTC dominance. And I think I actually know where this liquidity came into. So we'll talk about this today, and we'll also talk about rotations. We are in this season where altcoins will be catching up heavily currently. The way to make a bunch of money currently is to actually know what would be the alts that will be pumping the first, and being able to rotate the profits from the alts that did pump to the alts that did not pump yet. And the best thing is actually to do it on leverage. So we will be discussing just this today. How to do it properly, how to do it on leverage, and how to spot things that did not pump yet but have a great chance of pumping. Without further ado, let's start. First of all, I wanted to focus on crypto funding rates. Everyone is screaming, everyone is euphoric, how great everything is coming out and things like that. I do actually think we are due a short-term pain. Why? Because there are large funding rates at this stage, specifically for altcoins. What does this mean? It means that people are genuinely longing altcoins currently at this stage, which is kind of good from one point of view. From other point of view, it means that people do not want to participate in this game using spot for holdings, right? They usually just want to long things on leverage just to take the bulk of the move and then probably to rotate it into something else, which definitely shows that we are still in the predatory PvP part of the market, and at the same time people are still hurt from altcoins from previous cycles, so they kinda still don't want to participate in this game with the spot holdings, right? Well, in general, funding for alts is not that large at this stage. It's kind of large for some of them, like XRP for example. Well, DX funding, we should really not be checking it out currently. BTC, like a day ago, 2 days ago, it was 0.01. Right now, it's 0.04 somewhere, 0.03. So before the previous correction, we had funding at 0.06, 0.07. So I would say we'd still definitely have some room currently. And if you remember, I have this date from my end that Ethereum should really start breaking out at November 25th. Since like till that time we have several days, and ideal scenario that I would want to see for the healthiness of the market to be present is essentially for us to have a small cool off over the weekend, just a period of chop and things like that. I don't think we're honestly getting that. I do think this is the time to learn altcoins. I'm learning some altcoins today, and I will tell you what altcoins I'm actually holding and why, and how you can figure out which altcoins to actually long, because it's a very important thing and a very important skill to actually apply in this current market setup. One more thing to just tell you how great I am on this channel, so you'd understand it one more time. Lots of people compare the current price action to 2021. I think comparing it to 2017 has been much more accurate so far. I've been telling you about the similarities between 2017 for several days already. Me, stand on this channel. Bob Lucas, agree, the sustained nature of this market is more like it. Bob Lucas, who is the main god out there, crypto god, every one of you influencers is watching Bob Lucas and just telling you the words that Bob Lucas says. This is exactly what is happening. And I've been telling you about similarities to 2017 for several days already. And I've predicted this pumpage that is happening currently with altcoins and Ethereum as well. It's crazy. Do you actually understand what type of content you're actually exposed to for free, for fucking free? But before we actually go into secret sauce, and I will tell you how to make all the money that you actually want to make in the upcoming altcoin pops, we have to go through signals that crypto Twitter is sharing with us. I don't feel a lot of confidence when I'm essentially checking them out, right? Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is 94, Extreme Greed, current price $98,000. So first of all, we have to know that this is mostly a Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, right? So it's mostly about Bitcoin, right, in the first place. But in general, like, it kind of shows certain situation of the crypto market as well. I definitely do understand certain meme coins and certain alts, like and most of alts, I'm sorry, they still have like a huge catching up to do, which I think will be happening. And in 2017, and I'm talking to you since the start of this week, no one was talking about it. Currently, Bob Lucas agrees with the fact that this cycle is more similar, not this cycle, but the current price action is more similar to 2017. What was happening in 2017? BTC set all-time high around the mid of December, and Ethereum was setting all-time high around 15th of January. And since all this time we had Altseason, and after some time after Ethereum set all-time high as well. But Bitcoin was already for 1 month in the bear market after setting all-time high, and altcoins and Ethereum was just pumping like crazy, which is usual wealth effect. And I will tell you, I will actually share examples of the wealth effect happening already for the Bitcoin holders out there. Whether or not you have to be scared about this fear and greed index, whether or not you have to be scared about high funding rates, whether or not you have to be scared about everyone screaming we're going high and things like that. Sometimes just these things, you just have to ignore them, right? In March, I think we had a high fear and greed index for weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, like at least, right? Obviously with certain dips in the process, but it was high for quite some time. I do believe that we might be expecting something like this here as well. All that feels like we should be seeing a cool off in the weekend, but again, it's absolutely normal in these type of setups to have this type of essentially fear and greed indexes for a longer amount of time. Also, BTC, it seems like it should be breaking 100K soon, which is a huge psychological barrier for a lot of people out there, for retail to essentially finally come in. Am I seeing a lot of retail joining at this stage? Personally, I do not, but maybe they're just silent observers, right? Gondolas. We're going to win so big in the next few months. Have faith, trust the process, enjoy the ride. The guy is showing the chart of Katana, which is essentially a meme coin on Solana, and the word understood is that there are good whales behind it, right? I'm just cautious about these things, but it kind of makes sense. Like, he's not saying tomorrow, he's saying about a couple of months, so I can agree with that. So this is a very, very important pause that I wanted to share. This is why I think that some meme coins are fucked, and that real retail will be most likely Chinese simplified. Well, what the fuck? It should be like real retail should really be coming into altcoins. I think all of the experience of retail in this market, and by retail I mean just people who were not familiar with meme coins before, and even myself, because I lost a bunch of money of meme coins as well, were just losing money, right? Was just like not making like a lot. They were just losing money. Welcome to our world, retail. I don't think that like it's that funny, right? I've only lost money. I was up 10x and got racked on everything. Now looking at my $3.25 sitting in Diddy's baby oil. Spent $100 and came back with 100 in the same day. I lost all my money. Question I have: will people losing money invite others to lose money with them? I don't think so. I think like if essentially retail is coming currently, they will rather just take smaller gains in altcoins, make some money, and maybe wealth effect from altcoins will spark another meme season on like Solana. I'm not speaking about like blue chip good memes on Ethereum. Like they should be catching up nicely because Ethereum is fucking at the bottom currently, right? I'm just talking about this bullshit happening. I think yesterday Tate like went on stream. He put a bunch of Solana on stream. He started to buy random coins, and I think there was an investigation that there were wallets connected to Tate that bought these coins before, and when he bought them, they started to dump heavily. Which is fucking funny. I also seen the comment from a guy that he actually starts to think that Tate is broke, because yeah, like I think he was sharing that like he's spending 2 million on Solana coins, but at the same time, if you bought them before and if you're selling from other wallets, it's just fucking crazy. And like I think he made like 200k in profits or something. I believe we are entering a period where you will have a chance to make the most over the next few months. The parabolic advances have clearly begun, and hopefully we get many months of good times. However, they are not long-term sustainable. Let's make the most of it. Yeah, and we really need for these times to be supported by spot, like good spot buying, not fucking leverage, because yeah, this way we are not sustainable at all. So this is a very, very nice analogy to, I'm not sure if I can actually show it on YouTube because the channel might get banned. I can share it. I can share it verbally, how I heard from Cousin Crypto. He essentially compares altcoins and meme coins, and he's saying that getting ranked on altcoins, as we all got in the previous cycle, is something like being molested by a family member that you trust, because they were essentially promising safe world out there and things like that. And getting racked by a meme coin is like getting racked by a prisoner in a cell, and you kind of can expect that, like you obviously expect that you might get racked from a prisoner in the cell, and that's why like kind of psychologically they are better. But it's interesting. I do think that this is the PSD, still PTSD from the previous cycle. And man, like all these large influencers calling like meme season and Memecoin cycle, it's so fucking wrong. Like they pretty much just did it. They pretty much just done it on the exact fucking top. Like when upside, there is still upside, right? But it's heavily limited. And what they're doing currently is that they're taking fucking profits from the Memecoin bags that they, for example, were able to make some money on, and they're repositioning into altcoin longs. And specifically calling for memecoin super cycle out there. Like I'm telling you 100% currently, we're due short-term outperformance from alts over memecoins, 100%. I'm not talking about like none of the memes are moving. Certain memes will, right? Ethereum memes, for example, right? Ethereum layer 2 memes. I do think some of them will essentially be moving as well. Some gems on Solana that I talked to you about. Maybe some of them connected to AI. We'll see, right? But overall, short term, I do think meme coins will suck us so much fucking higher. Lucy Johnson, I low-key think it's done. It's done. You guys, I exit liquidity, lost my whole life savings. Yup, memes won't last. And yeah, like these guys making fun of this, I don't think it's fucking funny. I think this is the reality at this stage. I think that if people are losing money in general, like no one will fucking want to participate in this game. Like 0 people, right? No one is going to want to participate in this game. And and it is essentially why, like, I'm almost seeing the recent Memecoin season on Solana, because most of the racks are on Solana. I can't even think of a lot of memes that like went to 0 on Ethereum. Only the ones that were launched by Solana scam influencers, right? But all of the racks, most of the racks are happening on Solana at this stage. And like it almost was like liquidity instruction before Altseason. So as I was telling you, you're not fucking listening. These people, they are using your money to position themselves in alts and multiply your money in alts, playing in this fucking stupid meme coin game. And like we really reached the peak with these TGR guys like pumping DD oil on stream. He was saying shit like, guys, like let's do it this way. You buy this coin and then I call it, and I buy it as well, and then you sell everything. That's motion. It's fucking 40 IQ or something. It's crazy. And like the issue is that these are all top signals for Solana meme coins. Tate doing these rocks and getting exposed due to the fact that like it's just crazy. It's just crazy what is happening. Like making 200k of profits. So this is something that you might scream on as a top signal. Thanks Bitcoin, your purchase order has been confirmed. I would say this is actually the start of the alt season only, because this guy obviously was holding BTC, and he says like he does not says like fuck your mom pussy Memecoin, thank you, right? He does not say like rape child in Africa, thank you, right? He's not saying that. He's saying thanks Bitcoin, which means that he obviously made money on Bitcoin at this stage, right? Which means we pretty much should be at the start of the alt season currently, right? And I will tell you by the end of the video. I know like you're watching through this very, very entertaining part of the video at this stage, but I will tell you at the end how to actually spot altcoins that make sense to buy currently, that have clear reversal patterns on the charts, and how to play rotation game perfectly. Because this is the only thing you actually need to have currently. And if you want to play it stupid currently, just buy into low cap alts and just have balls to sit in them. Because usually all of the liquidity, all of the excess liquidity will come into your low cap alts, and they will essentially be pushed to crazy numbers as well. Gaming alts, if you would ask me. Because this is what retail likes and what people that make a bunch of money like as well. Yes, we're still early. Blue equals last cycle's coin all-time high valuations. Green equals this cycle's coin valuations. 2025 will be the year of meme coin. Man, when I hear this, I don't know. I'm so fucking bearish. I have like these large PTSD. So the overview that I'm seeing is that some Ethereum meme coins will be catching up through the current pump of Ethereum and alts. After alts, we will have a small meme season again with pretty much scam influencers taking excess money from people. And that's fucking it. Maybe it for the next leg up like in 2025 or something. So it's interesting. It's interesting, like, and despite like these thoughts that I'm sharing, I'm long in stuff. I'm positioning the market fully. I'm not like taking profits on anything. This is just the origin that I'm seeing, right? Mainly because I'm positioned mostly in Ethereum meme coins that I do yet. Like, I'm expecting large market caps from them 100%, and I'm long in alts as well. And why the fuck I should be closing my alts longs at this stage? I don't know. Retail is coming back. I'm back after 2 years. It's nice to see Ben in a different room. Yes, retail is coming back. And in general, it definitely feels like, because overall, we probably feel this PTSD as well. Probably feel some fear as like the same way as I am currently at this stage. I do remember the situation 1 year ago. I was exactly the same type of situation. We had our correction since the start of the BTC ETF trading and the start, I think it was 12th of January of 2024 till the start middle of February, where Ethereum really started to pick up. I do think this time things will be happening way quicker and way sooner. And like most part of the retail, as I was sharing in the previous video, in the yesterday video, they should be coming already into liquidity creation zone. They should not be able to make a lot of money. They should only be able to see like maybe 2, 3, 4x's, only if they're playing it like very, very degen. And they should keep this money and they should essentially write them all to zero with the expectations in the mind that, oh, like we're probably going higher, and seeing other people, essentially their peers, like saying, oh, like I just did like a 40x on this, I just did a 30x on this. But what they would not understand is that these people who did 30 and 40x's, they were buying way sooner, way earlier than these people, essentially, that will be coming into the market. Huge fucking news. SEC Gary Gensler will resign on January 20. Like this, like for some reason, like all this news, they also feel to me like just the creation of top. Like they just throw this news in your face and they just pump BTC, so you will hold for some time. So you will like clone some things. So you will essentially, but again, it's not the top until most of altcoins are in all-time highs, essentially as well. And like we are far from this at this stage. We only have seen this happening for most memes out there. This time we might actually not be bullish enough. Pro-crypto president, pro-crypto administration, presidents meet crypto CEOs, seller going insane with buying, Wall Street on board with ETFs and buying, countries and sovereign wealth funds will start buying soon, Gensler stepping down in 2025, FTX repayments begin in 2025, Solana ETF likely in 2025, Bob Lucas bullish, H. Saka is back. I will take profits on the way up with discipline, feet on the ground, but truth is that never ever has there been so much bullish news of crypto. I can't believe how much the narrative has changed in just 1 year, more or less. At least a repeat of 2017, 2021, 2025. Just waiting for GCR to tweet again. No comments. When you're gonna win so much, you may even get tired of winning, and you'll say, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore, Mr. President. It's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. Is he calling himself Mr. President? Mr. President of crypto? We have to keep winning. We have to win more. Well, Ansem is kind of, he was drastically wrong on his Solana position in 40k market call, and I think he was wrong because he's actually paid by CIA, but essentially not the topic, right? But overall, like in some things, he definitely was right. Bitcoin is nearly 100k. Where is everyone? This is a very, very nice thing because no one is making money. Because everyone is waiting for some dummies to come and buy the worthless altcoins and meme coins that don't essentially matter shit, right? Actually having some fun at my own expense here. I've had more than a decent sized Ethereum bag this bull market, and that bag obviously underperformed. Can't take it personally or get it all right. Think there is very good chance Ethereum has its day in spotlight towards the end of this bull market. I'm sharing a lot of Bob Lucas things currently, essentially as well, and I think you guys should be listening to Bob Lucas as well. Can't believe we asked for 100k, 10k, 1k, and essentially the prices for Ethereum and Solana respectively, and we got 100k, 3k to $140. What a shame. So I do think this is actually this is where you should be seeing the opportunity, because the fact that BTC is already 100k and Ethereum is still 3k and Solana like 260 currently, like it definitely shows you, it definitely tells you something. It definitely tells you that there's probably some catching up that needs to be happening, right? And I'm betting on a larger and better catching up from Ethereum, just from the fact that it has ETF. So it has the option to pull out the same type of move that Solana. Like, why do you have Chinese on all of my tabs? Sui has higher inflows than any other chain. Kyle Chess is pushing Sui. Well, it's nice. Yep. Hello, my greedy friends. Is this actually a hidden Apple shield? Let me guys know if you think in the comments if this is a hidden Apple shield. I don't think that they should be holding some app, right? Fear and Greed Index Extreme Greed at this stage. Ideally, I would say, I should be seeing, like, we should be seeing a cool off, but I would hope that my loans won't get liquidated, right? We are entering an age of abundance and easy mode, fellas. Your only enemy is this part of the cycle will be your own greed. Man, that's like, were people telling about like age of abundance in 2021 at the start of the alt season? I don't think so. I think people were just taking a bunch of profits from the PTSD of the bear market of 2018, with Ethereum in that bull market essentially went to $70. Were they saying that we are entering the age of abundance and easy mode by largest influencer on Solana with 150,000 views, 3,000 likes and 400 retweets? In the situation where we are at the end of the Trump trade, where the Trump trade was to buy in July and sell and essentially sell around these areas, and they're selling currently 100%. Because they need to create liquidity at these levels. Like, this thing will continue, it can chop, it will be chopping, it can go to 100K to lure some more people in, it will be chopping because they need to create liquidity if they're selling currently. The trade was to be buying in July, right there at the bottoms, right there, not at $90,000. Well, I have 15-minute chart. I would have too much scrolling to do, right? The trade was to buy here in July. Right now, they're creating liquidity creation zone right here. The trade was to buy in July, with largest influencers essentially saying that we're in the easy mode. Man, something interesting is happening. Stop feeling discouraged thinking you're late or that opportunities are slipping away. Most people don't even know what Ethereum is, and you are already trading meme coins on chain. You are ahead of the curve early as fuck. Even if you are in debt and your bank account is empty, you're strategically positioned to make millions. Nice post. I wanted to share it as well because, yeah, you're definitely, like, we're all definitely ahead. A bunch of people that would be entering. The real question if they would be entering, and if this is just like a short pump, it will be don't get me wrong, like December will be fucking late. I do think you need to be locked in December. December will be the time to make money, but after, it seems like retail will get invited. We'll get another liquidity creation zone. We will go to a long-ass consolidation till the next pump. Maybe somewhere around like March, April, and then somewhere around end of 2025, and then a bear market, right? Nobody's scammed retail more than Solana. So it's actually true. Like, I do think that most like retail guys, they lost a bunch on Solana, like 100%. Sol's market cap almost doubled, yet its price still did not make an all-time high. This is the definition of inflation, a hidden tax every Solana fanboy pays. Interesting take, because Sol's market cap almost doubled, yet the price is the same. So the market cap, so it pretty much means that new tokens were issued. And I don't think that a lot of people essentially remember the message from this guy, because back in the end of summer, when probably not a lot of people were paying attention, he was sharing a very interesting tweet from someone who was reaching out to him and was asking like what coins you would think I should be buying now. And he said buy some Sol, but I would be planning to sell in March around $300 because they would have like huge unlocks or something after that. And right now he's sharing things about $1,000 Solana, right? Very interesting dynamic out there, right? By the CIA puppet. All right. And last but not least, Base essentially implemented 4.7 holding USDC percentage yield, which is pretty much similar to Blast. So why Base is winning Blast is because they have bread and they have meme season. I'm talking to the Pac-Man, to the founder of Blast currently. The only way to be able to compete with Base at this stage is to push Engine Blast to billions. This is the only way out there. Like they are seeing that your technology is better. They are seeing that they can enable a bunch of new business models on chain. They are copying this. Back in summer, Bread market share on Base was 40%. It was a dead chain. That chain was nothing happening. It's still full of meme coins. I think like 70% of market capitalization on Base is still meme coins, including like all the AI agents. Like these are meme coins as well. Think and grow rich, right? So we're talking about altcoins currently at this stage. And first of all, we have to talk about Daddy. We have to talk about Ethereum. Guys, remember the date, 25th of November. Just wait for this date. right? It's only 3 days away, right? I do think we should be consolidating before this date. What's interesting to check is also total 3. It's kind of trying to break out. And yeah, if you remember, important thing I was sharing with you that before this high, I told you here that we should be seeing a new high. I also told you that I don't think that after this one we should be seeing a new high. I think that dominance should be finally going lower. Before this high, we've seen a huge rotation happening out of meme coins. A lot of meme coins started to correct heavily. It actually happened here. So before the last BTC dominance high, right? And what happened, I think, was a huge reposition that was happening from meme coins into altcoins. Some smart people started to do it, right? And it's definitely already happened. Something I wanted to show is Metis. And what you have to understand with this altcoin rotation game is that the largest amount of money you would be making is if you would be essentially doing proper rotations out there, which means you would be buying assets that are first to pump. You will be taking profits from them and you will be repositioning into the assets that did not pump yet, but that are second to pump out there. It's very interesting that on a range of assets, we currently have the same type of patterns currently. We have them forming a reversal at the bottoms. You can often find it on 15 minutes chart, right? These like 3 levels, they usually would signalize the reversal on the asset and the continuation of the bull structure. Metis is definitely in the bull structure at this stage, in the bull phase at this stage, in the uptrend at this stage. This thing was present on Sui before Sui did the 7 and 8x, right? And this thing is present on Blast, for example, currently, and it should be present on a range of assets out there. So this is something I think you should be hunting for at this stage. How to actually be able to figure out what would be the things that will be pumping the first. Why I'm showing you Metis is because Metis is Ethereum layer 2. This is like general thought that with Ethereum pumping, Ethereum layer 2s, they should be the first to pump as the present bet on the marketplace as well. What I do also like, I do like to loan assets that have a very, very low market cap. And because it would essentially provide me with a large amount of access if this thing will be multiplying. Mavia, for example, we have the same thing right here. I think like this thing is still at like 40 or 50 million dollars market cap, and you can actually loan this thing, right? It actually got delisted from Bluffin yesterday or the day before. I asked the management why, and they didn't know the answer. But it's interesting because often these things are happening because exchanges don't want you to essentially make a bunch of money on the asset, right? It's just I'm just throwing this out there because like a lot of people are just making money in this industry based on insights. Like they just go in insights on the insights, based on insights, and yeah, they just win based on that. So you can also clearly see this pattern on Mavi, and you can see the continuation, the start of the movement from here. I do believe it's only the start, but this pattern already provided 20% from bottom to tops, right? So if you were longing like at the start of this pattern, this is essentially a very, very nice thing out there, right? We can check out something as IMX because yeah, you can essentially see the same thing happen. Like it's crazy. It's like the reason they already hire is because everyone in the marketplace is essentially seeing this pattern happening, and everyone in the marketplace is rotating from the Solana meme coins into this thing after extracting liquidity from retail, right? 30% move up, but it's on the larger asset, which is IMX. And I know, guys, I've been calling gaming since March of 2024, but I do think it's really the time. Why? Because views on Alex Becker channel, they finally picked up. And if you think about different narratives between the altcoin assets, there is nothing better that attracts retail attention more and that has same type of directed overview from present YouTube channels out there. And I do think that gaming should be doing quite nicely, right? That's why I essentially showed you Mavia, I showed you IMX as well, and I showed you this thing too. You can kind of say that like it was present here, and it's present on the range of assets. Like we have the same type of thing on Blast too, and you can see that like after this thing we already did like how much? 25%. So this is one method of how you can actually be doing this. Second method is to essentially create charts of your underlying alt that you would want to loan in the pair to the Ethereum, right? And try to check out, like try to assess what should be happening on this chart. Where is this chart globally? Is Ethereum outperforming like this alt? Is this chart at the bottom, right? we can see that definitely, like, this is IMX chart to Ethereum. We can definitely see that we have this type of range currently, right? This is like the lower bracket, this is the higher bracket, because we have a bunch of liquidity creation in terms of these areas as well. The assumption you might have for this pair is actually to go to the top bracket, right? Which means that IMX should be outperforming Ethereum short term, which means that it's essentially another confirmation for you to enter IMX long out there. Most of the assets, I would say, that they would have essentially similar type of charts to Ethereum out there. We can see that Metis is essentially at the bottoms in comparison to Ethereum as well. It just started the breakout edge too, and it should be, if not to this level, if not to this high, it should be going here at least, right? So it should be going at least to this level. But then you might have a question, all right, what should I long currently? What will yield me more results, Metis or IMX? And what you are doing then is that you are essentially just creating a chart of Metis to IMX, and you assess. If this chart is going higher, it means that Metis is outperforming. If this chart is going lower, that means that IMX is outperforming. We are seeing that Metis is at the tops currently, right? And you might think like whether or not this chart essentially will be breaking higher and continuing to the price discovery. This might be happening just because of the fact that Metis is way lower market cap asset in comparison to IMX, right? But at the same time, you might also see that, well, maybe, just maybe, the pair will be going lower into the lower bracket. Honestly, I'm not seeing that because the market cap of Metis is way lower than market cap of IMX. So let's just try to compare two assets that are closer in the market cap. So let's compare to Metis and Mevia, right? And Mevia is like 5 or 6 times lower in the market cap in comparison to Metis. And what we can see here is Metis pair is essentially at the top currently. So Metis is heavily outperforming Mevia in comparison currently. And I would say here we have a nice narrative for Metis to essentially start to doing not that well in comparison to Mevia. So for example, if you were able to make some profits on Metis because maybe you were longing it like since a couple months ago and you actually are in some profits currently, you might want to take some of the profits, or if you really want to play this game as a junkie, right, you might to close like whole loan or whole spot on Metis and reposition into Mavia at this stage, right? And just sit there and wait for Mavia, because Mavia should be outperforming Metis, which often means even if Mavia won't be going high, it might mean that Metis would essentially be going lower. I'm not seeing this on the charts that Metis is going to go lower, but I'm definitely seeing that Mavia can start to outperform Metis heavily just because of the fact Mavia is 300 million market cap only, right? So let's actually try to come up with an altcoin which market cap is similar to Metis. I think Akash is the one, but I don't remember the ticker, right? So let's try to find, like Metis market cap at this stage is around $300 million, right? So I'm just randomly gonna scroll into alt that is not dead, that is not like from the previous cycle, something new, something good. Let's check. Dash is not the one, guys, right? Polka, you can kind of do the same thing with Memecoins, right? Let's do it with Kusama, although the Kusama is also a thing from, actually don't remember, it's Atom Ecosystem. I don't remember if it's like from previous cycle. I think Crypto Bunter was showing it from previous cycle. Menta, let's do it Menta. With Menta, I think Menta is also like Ethereum layer 2 or something, right? So let's actually compare Metis to Menta to understand like what you should be longing at this stage. Yeah, we can also see that Metis has been outperforming Menta thus far. And obviously currently is not the ideal point because you kind of lost this high, right, to reposition. And maybe this thing will just continue from here. But narrative, like the overall view we might have is that, well, this chart might be correcting a bit more and going like lower in terms of essentially going into the lower brackets, which means that Menta should outperform Metis short term. And this is essentially how you would be doing your rotations. And the proper rule for rotation is that you should be only doing it once you have nice profits in the asset. So one more thing to show how to do it properly. Well, this is like no one is fucking telling you this. It's crazy. Yeah, and you can also see this pattern on Sui, which resulted in 7x, right? And one thing that you essentially might be doing, like this is the only thing you actually need in this market to make a bunch of money. And if you want actually to trade this leverage loan, you can do it on Bluffin. I would share my link in the description as well. You can sign up on Bluffin. This is non-KYC exchange. So our US friends, and most of you guys are in the US who are watching this channel, so you would be able to sign up on non-KYC exchange, which is Bluffin. You will be able to trade and leverage. They have like most of the coins out there. It's a very, very nice exchange. I actually know the management, so if you would have any issues, you can send me a message on Twitter. I will solve any issues that you might have. So you kind of get in this concierge service, right? So how to do this? You have this top. You have this default pattern that we've seen on most of the assets. You have your cup and handle. You have the breakout to the previous all-time high, and then you essentially have price discovery. So when the asset is already way up in the price discovery, this is the time to essentially reposition already. When the asset, I would say, when the asset is around previous all-time highs, and you're seeing some good assets that you still can long leverage or that you can still reposition on spot, and they're still like around the breakoutage, first of all, you should ask yourself whether or not this asset is dead. Secondly, it might not matter that much because it's all about human greed, and in the peak of the alt season, people will just stop caring. Like if something will not pump yet, they will just reposition liquidity there just to get some movement and just for this thing to essentially pump as well, right? So this is something to do as well. But I would say ideal scenario out there, the algorithm that you might be using, you're positioning some alts currently that you think will be pumping, something around like Ethereum, most likely Ethereum layer 2s and things like that, maybe things like Jupiter currently, because they might be essentially repeating the movement on Solana, and they might be moving up higher to the all-time high. So let's say you are long in Jupiter at this stage, Jupiter is going to the all-time high. Then what you're doing is that you're essentially starting to think what other assets might be pumping. Maybe you would like essentially gaming, maybe you would like Ethereum, like layer 2 or something, it doesn't matter. And you start to create charts of Jupiter in connection to the asset that you would want to reposition in, and you check out the pair. Let's say like Jupiter pumped to all-time high and Mave is still dead, right? So Mave is still not moving. So you're creating the pair at that time, and you are seeing that at that time Jupiter would probably be somewhere here. You'll be seeing, all right, Jupiter is at the top at this stage, so I should be probably repositioning to Mave because this chart should be going way lower because Jupiter had heavily outperformed Mavia thus far. And even currently, based on this chart, I would say that this is a very, very nice action at this stage if you were holding Jupiter and if you're in profits, to reposition some of your Jupiter in Mavia, for example, right? So I hope this algorithm actually makes sense. I might be just doing a separate video on this one because I do understand that it's at the end, and most of you guys, you actually do not watch these videos till the end, right? Not most of you, but some of you, right? And in general, it's not just about you guys, it's just the general behavior of YouTube viewers. But yeah, I guess it makes sense. Thank you very much for watching this one, and I will be seeing you tomorrow. Have a nice weekend ahead. Bye-bye.